Hey guys! In today's video I have super creative lunch ideas to share with you. So if you're looking for some fun but easy school lunch inspiration, you've definitely come to the right place. I'm Jennifer with the Family Fudge and welcome to Bunches of Lunches Subscriber Edition. Now before I jump into today's lunches, if you're new here, welcome. On this channel, I share fun lunch ideas every single week. And as often as I can, I love to make lunch ideas requested by my subscribers. Now, I'd like to give a huge thanks to all of you who have already sent in an awesome lunch idea. If I could, I would make every single lunch idea. But just so you know, I do read all of the lunch ideas you send me, and I'm always amazed by how many lunch ideas I receive from all over the world. Now, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that red subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and if you have a lunch idea to send in, there'll be a link in the description box below for you. And without further ado, let's get on to the lunches. I'm going to be making a lunch idea sent to me all the way from London, England. And you guys, this lunch idea was sent in by Zainab. Now for this lunch, she requested a Paddington bear themed lunch. And since Zainab is from the UK, I tried to find as many UK products for this lunch as I could. So for her main course, I'm going to start by taking a good old piece of sandwich bread. And I do want to go ahead and lightly toast this, not too much. Once it's out of the toaster, I'm going to spread it with just a little bit of butter, followed by some authentic marmalade jam. Now, if you've never had marmalade jam before, it's basically a sweet but really tart jelly or jam. Today I'm using orange marmalade jam, but you can also find lemon, lime, or grapefruit varieties. Now you guys, to turn this into a Paddington bear open-faced sandwich, I'm going to add one little slice of banana right in the center, followed by 2 blueberries for the eyes, and an extra blueberry on top of the banana for the nose. Next comes the fun part. I got lots of different kinds of fruit roll-ups, and I'm actually going to use this reddish one for Paddington's hat. I'm just going to cut this out with some scissors, and then for his little coat that he wears, I'll go ahead and use fruit roll-up for that as well. And to check it out, you guys, this came out so adorable. So now that the main course is done, I'm going to move on to the fruit and veggie. For Zainab's fruit, I'm adding a mandarin orange, and for her veggie, I'm adding broccoli with ranch to dip in. And then for her sweet treat, she requested Paddington bear cookies. Well, I couldn't actually find those here in the US, but I was able to find Teddy Graham cookies instead. And now to complete this lunch, I have a very special fruit drink that I'm going to make that is also from the UK. This is actually a mixture of apple and black currant, so that sounds interesting. Now this does come as a concentrate, so I just need to add a little bit of this, and the rest is just water. Now that brings us to a lunch idea sent in by Lacey from Mississippi. Now I was super excited when I saw Lacey's lunch idea because she asked for a Mickey Mouse theme. And you guys probably know that I love Mickey Mouse. In fact, I have both a Mickey and a Minnie shaped bento lunchbox. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Mickey Mouse one for this lunch. For Lacey's main course, she asked for a Mickey Mouse shaped sandwich. Now I actually have a big collection of Mickey Mouse shaped cutters. Now in the sandwich, I'm going to be adding some mayo, bacon, lettuce, and cheese. So it's kind of like a BLT, but instead of the tomato, I'm adding cheese. For Lacey's fruit, she requested watermelon in the shape of Mickey Mouse. And for her veggie, she requested Mickey Mouse shaped carrots. For her snack, she requested, you guessed it, the Mickey Mouse goldfish. I'm going to go ahead and put those in this little separate container on the side. And then for her treat, she requested Mickey Mouse cookies. Now, unfortunately, I'm not able to find Mickey Mouse shaped cookies at any regular grocery store. But since we live really close to Disney World, for this lunch, I did go ahead and pop into Epcot and I picked up some shortbread cookies with Mickey on them. So that's pretty close. I have a regular flavor and chocolate chip flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and add the regular ones into this lunch. And then lastly, for her drink, I'm going to be adding in a little bit of strawberry kiwi juice with a Mickey Mouse topper. And you guys, this is the brand new limited edition gold Mickey Mouse topper.
My favorite was the watermelon. My favorite part was the sandwiches.
My favorite part was the carrots, but next time I think a little bit of ranch.
Of course. Next up, I'm going to be making Erica's lunch. Erica is 13 years old and she's from Ohio. And for her lunch, she's given me a shape challenge. And if you've never seen a shape challenge, it's basically where everything in the lunch needs to be a certain shape. And as you can tell, the shape for this lunch is going to be star. For Erica's main course, she requested a grilled cheese sandwich with a peekaboo star window. So for this, I'm just using some really good farmhouse bread, but I do want to go ahead and trim off the crust just a little bit so I have a nice rectangle shape. Then instead of adding one peekaboo window, I'm actually going to be adding in 3. And for this grilled cheese sandwich, I decided to go with the classic Kraft cheese. I know this cheese is not everybody's favorite, but it definitely is popular when it comes to making a grilled cheese. But you guys, I would love to know in the comments down below, what kind of cheese do you put in your grilled cheese? Usually if I'm making it for myself, I'll actually use a couple of different kinds of cheese. Then, because there's a peekaboo window in the sandwich, I don't really want to flip it in a pan, so instead I'm going to grill this in my panini press. Check it out, you guys. The cheese is definitely melted, but it pretty much stayed in the sandwich. So now on to the rest of the star-themed lunch. For Erica's fruit, she requested watermelon. For her veggies, she requested a combination of both carrot and cucumber. And because I am extra, I am going to go ahead and slice these, punch out a star in the middle, and then swap the carrot with the cucumber. Now these are really easy to make, but I do have to say that they do take a little bit of extra time. Now, moving on to Erica's sweet treat, she requested any kind of chocolate cookie. So I thought it'd be really fun to use these Star Crunch cookies because they go with the star theme. Now, this is actually a Little Debbie snack, and if you've never had one before, it's basically a soft chocolate cookie topped with caramel and crispy rice. And because this is a star-shaped food challenge, I am gonna go ahead and cut this into a star shape and then get it into the lunch tray. Have a lunch idea sent in by Kajini. She is 15 years old and is from Haiti. Now, Kajini asked for a blue and gold themed lunch today. And for her main course, I'm going to start with a mini bagel. This is just a nice and chewy, plain bagel. I'm going to go ahead and open it up and then pop it in the toaster for a few minutes. Now on top of Kajini's bagel, she asked for something that is a pretty unique combination. She asked for both peanut butter and jam, but this is actually going to be pineapple jam. I'm going to put these on the lunch plate, and then to make them even more pineapple-y, I'm going to add just a few pineapple tidbits all the way around the top in sort of a flower pattern. So now it's time to move on to the fruit for this lunch, and Kajini requested a combination of strawberries and pineapples. For my next step, I'm going to take some celery sticks, I'm going to cut them down until they're almost bite-sized and then fill them with peanut butter. So these are going to be just like ants on a log, but instead of using raisins, I'm going to be using craisins. For her snack, she requested Chex Mix. And for her treat, I'm going to be adding in something extra special. I'm going to take some store-bought mini muffins, and these are actually blueberry flavored to go along with this blue and gold lunch. And to turn this muffin into a cupcake, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of frosting right to the top of each one. Now that brings me to a lunch idea sent in by Blair. Blair is from Scotland, and for his main course, he requested a really unique sounding sandwich. So to make the sandwich, I'm going to start with 2 slices of bread. This is actually a really good oat bread. And then to both of these pieces of bread, I'm going to spread on some strawberry jam. And because Blair is from Scotland, I wanted to make sure to use a Scottish jam. I was able to find this one at my local grocery store. This definitely looks interesting. So now that I have all of the jam spread out, this sandwich only has one other ingredient, and that is cheese. That's right, you guys. I'm adding in 2 slices of cheddar cheese, and then I'm going to close up this sandwich. Now, Blair says you could eat this just as is, but you can also toast it, and that definitely sounds good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a tiny bit of butter to each side, and I'm going to toast it up just like I would with a regular grilled cheese sandwich. And there we have it, you guys. Ooey gooey for sure. To get this to fit a little bit better in the lunchbox, I did go ahead and cut it into sandwich sticks. And now that that is done, it's time for some fruit. Blair requested a combination of both raspberries and strawberries. I'm just going to combine both of these berries in this section of the lunchbox. And then I'm going to make this entire back section all about veggies. Blair requested both cucumbers and carrots. So I'm just going to fill up this entire back section. And then you guys, for Blair's snack, he requested some crisps or chips. And I decided to go with some salt and vinegar flavored ones. When I was a kid, my family used to go to the Scottish Games all the time, and one of the things that they always sold there were salt and vinegar chips. So I think these go perfectly with this lunch. For his treat, he requested Skittles. So I'm going to add those right on the side. And for his drink, he requested some water. But instead of just regular water, I decided to go with this Harry Potter themed gilly water. And there you have it, guys. That is everything in Blairs Lunch. You guys have to let me know in the comments down below if you've ever tried a cheese and jam sandwich before. I have a lunch idea sent in by Alex from California. And you guys, Alex's lunch idea definitely stood out to me because for the main course, they asked for the ultimate peanut butter sandwich. Now, I have to admit that I have seen this sandwich idea before, but I've never actually made it, and that's because it requires 6 different ingredients. For this sandwich, you're going to need creamy peanut butter. You're also going to need crunchy peanut butter. You also need Nutella, some honey, some strawberry jam, and some marshmallow cream. Now, if you don't have all of these specific ingredients, you can probably still make a version of this sandwich that would still be delicious. But the whole idea is that you're going to take your 2 pieces of bread. Mine are kind of an odd shape here. I think this would look better if your bread was more square. But, so basically on the first piece of bread, I'm going to start by adding the smooth peanut butter. And I'm trying to keep this on 1/3 of my slice of bread. Next comes the Nutella. Now I'm gonna have to stop and open this one up because it is a brand new jar, and I'm going to put this Nutella right in the center. And you guys, since there is so much going on with this sandwich, I do want to make sure not to overfill this. So I'm just adding a very thin layer. And then lastly, on this slice of bread, I'm also going to add some crunchy peanut butter. Now you guys, I would love to know in the comments down below, are you a fan of creamy peanut butter or do you prefer chunky? So now that is everything for my first slice of bread. Moving on over to my other slice, I'm going to start with the strawberry jam. Again, I'm just adding a thin layer. And then right in the center, I'm going to go ahead and add some honey. And out of all of these ingredients, the honey is what I'm going to be using the most sparingly. And then last but not least, we cannot forget about the marshmallow cream. Now, I'm not quite sure if you can find this internationally. You guys will have to let me know. But if you can't find marshmallow cream, I would go ahead and maybe use some slices of banana or maybe a different flavor of jam. I've got my thin layer of marshmallow cream on there. It is now time to go ahead and close up this sandwich. And the idea is that with all of these different ingredients, you're gonna have basically a different flavor in every bite. So now that the main course is done, I can move on to the rest of Alex's really unique lunch. For the fruit, Alex requested a banana, which I think is a perfect fruit to go along with all of that peanut butter. And check it out, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and put this banana in my little banana saver. If you are somebody who likes to travel with your bananas, you might want to look into one of these because this guy will definitely help protect your banana from being squashed. In addition to the banana, Alex also requested strawberries, so I'm just gonna add a few right over here. And then for the veggie, Alex requested celery, so I'm just going to cut these into smaller pieces, that way they fit better in this lunchbox. And then for the snack, check it out, you guys, another peanut butter item. These are peanut butter puffs. Now you guys, these are not sweet at all. I'd say they look just like Cheetos, but of course they're peanut butter flavored instead of cheese. I'm just gonna add a handful of these snacks to this super cute Trolls snack holder. This fits perfectly into the lunchbox. And then for Alex's snack, you guessed it, another peanut butter flavored item. This is the Peanut Butter Dream Chobani Flip Yogurt, which is a really long name for a pretty tasty treat. Now this is actually a vanilla flavored yogurt, but just like all Chobani Flips, it comes with a special topping. This one includes peanuts, peanut butter granola, and tiny chocolate chips. In goes the yogurt, on goes the topping. And now to finish off Alex's lunch, I'm also going to be adding in some chocolate milk. For this one, I decided to go with a breakfast for lunch theme, and it all was inspired by this super cute bunny waffle iron that I found recently at Target. So now, before I can use this, I do need to go ahead and give it a wash. And I love how this comes with instructions that say how to use it. Apparently you can add just a little bit of batter and have just the bunny shape, or you can add a little bit more batter and have a full pancake or waffle size piece. So now I'm going to go ahead and mix up the batter. I'm using a quick and easy just add water pancake mix. And because I want these to be waffles, I'm actually not going to be adding quite as much water as I would if I was making pancakes. And you guys, I think this is the perfect time to use this adorable carrot-shaped whisk. I also found this at Target. It is so fun and festive and perfect for spring. So now that I finally have all of the lumps out of the pancake batter, I can go ahead and spray my waffle iron because I do not want these to stick. And then I'm going to go ahead and start with just 3 tablespoons of this batter first and see how it goes. But as you guys probably already know, the first pancake or the first waffle never comes out perfect. You kind of have to find that sweet spot. And for me, I think a little bit more batter works out better. And check it out, you guys. I think that these pancake / waffles turned out really cute. Nothing got stuck in the waffle iron, which I also appreciate. For her fruit, I decided to go with some kiwi. We haven't had kiwi in a while, and to make these a little bit more festive, I just cut the kiwis into slices, and then I used my flower-shaped cookie cutter to cut off the peel and to make this really cute flower shape. Taking the easy route, I'm just going to be adding in some baby carrots, and I'm going to make sure to also include some ranch. I know with Lily, she will not eat her carrots without ranch. Now for Lily's snack, I have something brand new I've never seen before, and I'm not sure she's going to like it. I recently found this carrot cake hummus at Aldi, and it sounds really good. This is like a dessert hummus, supposed to be on the sweeter side. So I'm going to go ahead and get the hummus into a little separate container, and then with that I'm also going to be including some of these little graham cracker bunnies. Now to go along with this breakfast themed lunch, I also wanted to include some yogurt, and at our house we absolutely love this Noosa yogurt, especially in the lemon flavor. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit tart, but it is so good. I'm going to go ahead and give Lily just a little bit of that yogurt, and then to dress this up for Easter, I'm going to be adding some of these special sprinkles on top. And this is just a mixture of green sprinkles that look like grass and little egg-shaped sprinkles that look like Easter eggs. Super cute, super easy, and I know Lily's going to love it. And now to complete Lily's lunch, I'm just going to be throwing in some grape juice. Hey guys, for today's lunch, I'm actually going to be making brunch instead. And as you can see, I'm bringing back the muffin tray. I'm going to fill it with enough foods for all the kids to share. And before I add any food, I am going to go ahead and line each little section with a silicone liner. So now the first thing I'm going to be making for our brunch today are pancakes. To keep this super quick and easy, I'm just using some of our favorite pancake mix. This one's made with whole grains, and there's a lot of protein in these ones as well. And because I want them to fit inside the muffin cups, I did go ahead and make these into mini pancakes. That way they will definitely fit a lot better, and personally I think that these mini sized pancakes are really cute. So now I'm not actually going to be serving any syrup with these pancakes. Instead, I'm going to add just a little bit of the kids' favorite strawberry jam. I get this kind at Costco, so it lasts us a long time. And I really like this strawberry jam because it doesn't have seeds in it. So I'm just adding a little bit of this jam onto the pancakes, then I'm adding a pancake on top, and then I'm actually going to repeat this process one more time to make a triple-decker pancake bite. And now to go along with our pancakes, I'm also going to prepare some of this turkey sausage. This is actually fully cooked already, so I really just have to heat it up. It's super quick and easy. So now you can see our little triple-decker pancake stack. I did go ahead and add a food pick in there just to keep them together. And I'm going to add one little stack into each section. That way there's one for each child. Next, I'm going to be adding in that turkey sausage. And this really is just one sausage. I went ahead and cut them in half. Then I added a food pick in there as well. Next, I'm going to be adding in some slices of apple. And I decided to go with a combination of both Fuji apple and Granny Smith apple. And then for the vegetable, I'm keeping it super simple. I'm just adding in some pieces of celery. And I did go ahead and cut these pretty thin. That way they would fit in the sections easier. Okay guys, now so far, so good. I think this tray is looking awesome. But I think it will be really fun to also include some dipping sauces. So So in these first two sections, I'm gonna go ahead and add a tablespoon or so of some almond butter. My kids love dipping their apple slices in almond butter. It really is a very tasty combination, but I'm not gonna need a lot of this. So just a little bit into two of these sections is going to be enough. And then I'm gonna fill the other two sections with some of our favorite Greek yogurt ranch dressing. This is gonna be for the celery to be dipped in. I suppose you could also dip your apples in ranch dressing, but I wouldn't recommend it. And then last but not least, I'm gonna finish off our brunch tray with some Scooby snacks. Now you guys, these are actually a cinnamon flavored graham cracker. I like these because they're not too sweet, and of course they come in these really fun shapes as well. And there you have it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and let the kids dig in, and then afterwards they'll let us know what they think. Okay, Kenzie, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the sausage.
And Lily?
My favorite part was the graham crackers and the sausage.
And Jackson?
My favorite part was the sausage.
Do you give this lunch a thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs to the side. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Hey guys, now as you might be able to tell from these napkins, today I'm going with a pizza theme. I am going to be using our lunch trays instead of the muffin pan today. I think pizza will fit better on these. And to make this pizza quick and easy, I'm going to be using some store-bought pre-made pizza dough. But of course, if you wanted to, you could make your own pizza dough. Or you could even use the Pillsbury pizza dough that comes in the tube as well. And you guys, the reason I'm using pizza dough instead of a pre-made pizza crust is because I'm actually going to be folding this pizza dough into a pizza braid. Now, I know that might sound weird, but stay with me and I'll show you exactly what I mean. To make this pizza braid, I'm going to start by adding a little bit of flour to my cutting board. I definitely want to make sure that this dough does not stick. So I'm going to go ahead and spread that out. Next, I'm going to take that pre-made pizza dough. It's actually pretty sticky coming right out of the package, so this flour is definitely going to help. I'm going to add some of that flour on there. And now, using my rolling pin, I'm going to try to create a long rectangle shape, about the same size as the cutting board itself. And now, you don't have to do this next part, but to make the pizza braid look really nice and clean, I'm gonna go ahead and trim off just a little bit of the pizza dough around the edges, just so I have kind of a nice clean edge all the way around. So now before I go on to my next step, I need to transfer this dough onto my baking pan. I want to do it at this point because it's going to be really hard to do it later. So I just flipped it upside down onto a piece of parchment paper. And don't worry if it comes out a little bit wrinkled, go ahead and just stretch it back out as best you can. So now basically I'm going to be dividing this dough into 3 different sections. I'm just using a small cutting board to kind of gently press and outline into my dough. I'm not actually pushing this all the way through the dough, I'm just leaving a line so I know where I need to cut. Now to cut the dough, you definitely could use a pizza cutter, but for this job I really prefer kitchen scissors. I think they make this next part a lot easier. I'm going to take the scissors and I'm going to try my best to cut the dough into 4 equal pieces. And I'm only cutting inwards until I get to that little line that I made with the cutting board. I'm not going past that line. I don't want to cut too far into the center. And then as you can see, I'm taking the 4 pieces and I'm cutting those directly in the center to create 8 pieces. Now that I have this done on one side, I'm going to repeat this process on the other, and then I'm left with something that looks like this. At this point, I think it kind of looks like a skeleton. So now it's time to turn this into a pizza. First, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of pizza sauce directly in the center. I'm being careful not to add too much sauce because if I do, I know it's just going to kind of ooze out as this is baking. Next, I'm adding some shredded mozzarella cheese, and as you can see, I'm really mounding this cheese up. You do not want to skimp on the cheese at this point. Next, I'm adding several slices of turkey pepperoni. Then I'm going to top it all off with another light sprinkling of cheese. That cheese on top is going to melt, and it's gonna kind of act like the glue inside. Okay guys, now here comes the braiding part. And if you've never made this before, you might want to watch this part more than once. The first thing I'm going to do is take these top 2 pieces, and I'm actually gonna fold them downwards, just like this. Then I'm gonna take this little piece here at the end and fold that over as well. This is gonna help seal the end of the pizza braid so the ingredients don't just fall out. And now comes the fun part. I'm gonna start on this side. I'm gonna slightly stretch the dough over to the other side, and I'm just gonna press it down gently right here. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Cross it over, press it down, then cross over to the other side and press it down. And I'm going to repeat this process until I'm almost at the end. Not all the way at the end, almost at the end. Because at this point, I need to stop and take these other two end pieces and fold them down. Just like I did on the other end, I'm also going to fold over this little piece of dough here, just like that. Then I'm going to finish crisscrossing my last few pieces of dough, just like this. And with the very last piece of dough, I'm going to stretch that a little bit further. That way I can tuck it underneath to help seal it together. And there you have it, guys, a super simple pizza braid. Now you definitely could stick it in the oven just as is, but what I really like to do is brush a little bit of olive oil right over the top. This is going to help it get nice and brown on the outside, and it's also going to help some additional toppings to stick to the dough. And speaking of additional toppings, I'm gonna go ahead and first add just a couple pinches of Italian seasoning. Then I'm also gonna sprinkle just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. This is gonna get nice and crispy and browned on the top. So now I'm gonna pop this into the oven at 350 for about 30 to 45 minutes. This one does take a little bit longer, but you guys, it is totally worth it. So while that's in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the rest of the lunch. First, I'm gonna go ahead and make some orange smiles. My kids love these, and I have quite a lot of oranges that I'm trying to use up. So to make the perfect orange smiles, I always start by cutting off a little bit of each end of my orange, and I'm using navel oranges. They're nice and sweet, and they don't have any seeds. Next, I cut the entire orange in half. Then I cut each half into 4 little sections. Then the very last thing I like to do is cut a little bit of the edge off of each little section. That part tends to be a little tough. It can also be bitter, so the kids aren't really big fans of this part. Plus, cutting it off makes eating the orange smile a lot easier. And that's how I make an army of orange smiles. Okay guys, so now our pizza is out of the oven, and it's had just enough time to cool down so I can cut into it. I'm gonna go ahead and place it onto a cutting board, and then I can slice it up. So now that I have everything prepared, it's time to put the trays together. First, I'm gonna add a little side salad. This is just a little bit of romaine lettuce with some cucumbers and some carrots. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of ranch dressing on the side. That way the kids can add it to their own salad when they're ready. Next, I'm adding 1 piece of the pizza braid. In this back section, I'm adding the orange slices. For the vegetable, I'm adding just a few pieces of celery. And then for the special treat today, something super special. I'm gonna give the kids each a little container of Italian ice. Now you guys, this is actually a frozen treat. And if you've never had Italian ice before, it is super tasty. These come in a lot of different flavors like lemon and watermelon. But for today's lunch, I went ahead and just got the fruit punch flavor. So if you've ever had like a frozen lemonade cup, it's kind of like that. And there you have it, guys. There's everything in today's lunch. Okay guys, first up is Mackenzie. So what'd you think?
I really liked it.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the pizza braid.
And Jackson, you did pretty good on your vegetables. Not too bad. What was your favorite part?
Probably the Italian ice and the pizza thing.
Yeah, just be careful with that Italian ice. It does kind of get messy. Okay, Lily, it's your turn. What'd you think?
It was good. I liked the salad and the ice.
The salad and the ice. Good job today, guys. Okay, Griffin, what'd you think?
I liked it and my wing did like yo.
Yeah, you liked your pizza?
And all my one.
And your ice. Yeah. You gonna share that with me?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Good job.
See you tomorrow.
I I have a lunch idea sent in by Lily. Love the name, by the way. This Lily, however, is from England, and for her lunch today, we're going with a tropical theme. For her wrap, I'm going to start with a regular plain flour tortilla. For Lily's wrap, she requested a layer of lettuce, followed by some delicious pulled pork. And you guys, I actually have a separate video on how I make my pulled pork. It is super easy and delicious, so if you'd like that recipe, I will link it down below. Then I'm going to top this pork with some delicious and mild pineapple salsa. To make this, I just mixed together some diced fresh pineapple, and I went ahead and cut these pretty small because I want them to fit well inside our wrap. Next, I'm adding some finely diced red onion, some chopped cilantro, the juice of 1 lime, a little bit of cumin, and some salt and pepper to taste. Now you guys, I am making this on the mild side, but if you wanted to, you could also add in diced jalapenos to spice it up. So now I'm just going to add this delicious fresh salsa right on top. I'm going to make sure not to get too much of the salsa juice in here because I don't want this wrap to get very soggy. So now I'm just going to go ahead and roll it up as tightly as I can, cut it diagonally in the center, and there you have it. This looks so good. So now that Lily's wrap is done, I'm going to move on to the fruit and vegetable. For her fruit, I'm just going to add more of that fresh pineapple right in the back, and then for her veggie, I'm just going to add in some carrot sticks, some crinkle cut carrot sticks to be exact. Go along with these carrots, I'm also adding in a small container of ranch dip. For Lily's snack, she requested some trail mix. I'm just going to add a scoop of this right into here. And then for her treat, I'm adding in a combination of Greek yogurt topped with chocolate granola. That is such a tasty combination for sure. And then last but not least, for Lily's drink today, she just requested water. So I'm just going to add some on the side. Next up, I'm going to be making a lunch idea sent in by Daniela. Daniela is from Miami, which, by the way, even though we've moved to Florida, we still haven't been to Miami. Now, you guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if you've ever been to Miami. I would love to go and hope to go sometime soon. So for Daniela's wrap today, she requested sort of a Cuban style wrap. So for this, I'm going to start with just a regular plain tortilla. To this, I'm going to start by piling on the ham. This is just some thinly sliced deli ham. Next, I'm going to add a couple of slices of Swiss cheese. This is a classic combination for a Cuban style sandwich. Next, I'm adding in some sliced pickles, followed by some thinly sliced red onion. And then I'm going to top it all off with just a little bit of Dijon mustard. So now I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And normally a Cuban sandwich would be added to a grill or a press. So to finish off this wrap, I'm going to go ahead and add it to my panini press for just a few minutes. I'll go ahead and cut this in half on the diagonal. Check it out, you guys. I just love the way this turned out, and it smells so good. For my next step, I'm going to add in a combination of apple and banana, which are Daniela's favorite fruit. And because I don't want this banana to turn brown, I am going to go ahead and leave the peel on the outside. For Daniela's vegetable, she requested broccoli, so I'm just going to add a little bit on the side with some ranch for dipping, of course. And then for her snack, I'm just adding in a few of these salt and vinegar Pringles. And for her treat, something really special. My kids love these. This is a Kinder Joy egg. This has chocolate inside and a little toy. And then to complete Daniela's lunch, I'm just going to be adding in some apple juice. This next lunch idea was sent in by Gloria, and Gloria is from Albania. And for her lunch today, I'm going to add in as many emoji themed items as I can. For her wrap day, I'm going to be starting again with a plain flour tortilla, but this time I am going to add a spread, or the glue as I like to call it. For this, I'm just going to take a little bit of room temperature cream cheese, and I'm going to sprinkle in just a little bit of taco seasoning. This is going to give it really good flavor, and it's really going to help our ingredients not fall out of our wrap. Next, I'm going to add in some lettuce, followed by some cooked ground beef. I did go ahead and season this beef with some taco seasoning as well. And now for the rest of the toppings. You could really add so many different things here. For Gloria's wrap, she requested some corn, some beans, a little bit of avocado, a few tomatoes, and some cheese. And this is just a taco blend shredded cheese right on top. Now, this guy is looking pretty full, so I'm going to wrap it up as best I can. I'll slice this on the diagonal diagonal as well, and then get it into the lunchbox. For my next step, I'm going to be adding in a banana. That's what Gloria chose for her fruit. And since there are so many vegetables already in the taco wrap, we're not actually going to be adding any more to the lunchbox. Over in this section, I am going to go ahead and add in Gloria's snack. She requested some Lay's potato chips, and I actually have the baked version, so that's what I'm going to add. And then for her treat, something really tasty, Gloria requested a chocolate snack cake. And then finally, to complete Gloria's lunch, I'm just going to be adding in some fruit punch. And I decided to go with the minion topper for this because out of all the bottle toppers I have, it's the most similar to an emoji. Okay guys, now that brings me to a lunch idea sent in by Katie. Katie is from Michigan, and for her lunch I'm going to be adding in as many star and heart shapes as I can. Now for Katie's wrap today, I'm actually going to start by using a red tortilla. Now this is actually a sun-dried and tomato basil flavored tortilla. That's where the red color comes from. And you guys, I can actually smell these tortillas. They smell a lot like pizza. So for this wrap, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm actually going to start by adding some shredded cheddar cheese to this tortilla, and at this point I'm going to pop this in the microwave for just a few seconds until that cheese is melted. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if you are a fan of cheese. I'd say cheese is probably on my top 5 favorite food lists for sure. So now that this cheese is melted all over the tortilla and it's had time to cool down, I'm going to go ahead and add in a layer of lettuce. This is going to add a nice bright flavor and a nice crisp crunch, and I'm going to top everything off with several slices of bacon. Now I already cooked this bacon, so it's ready to go. So this wrap is kind of like a BLT, but my style, because I'm not a huge fan of tomatoes. So swapping out the tomatoes for cheese is definitely a thumbs up for me. Now moving on to Katie's fruit, I'm going to be adding in a scoop of fresh blueberries with a little heart pick as well. And then for her vegetable, I'm adding in a combination of carrots and cucumbers in heart shapes. I feel like I've been making these like non-stop for the last 2 weeks. To go along with the veggies, you guessed it, a little container of ranch. And for Katie's snack, I'm going to add in a little bit of popcorn right over here. And for her treat, something really special, I'm going to add in some white chocolate chips. And these always make me think of white chocolate macadamia cookies, which I love. And then the very last thing I'm adding into Katie's lunch is some apple juice. And for this, I'm going with the Shopkins topper since it has that fun star shape. Okay guys, now don't forget to send in your lunch requests for next week. The link for that will be down below in the description box. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit that red subscribe button if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!